What's going on, everybody? Joel here for Safe 48 Exotics. Yeah, that hasn't, I guess, changed. Still just me. Today's video is just gonna kind of be a little random. I'm just gonna kind of pull some snakes out and talk about them. Just gonna follow my heart with whatever I'm gonna do. So, hope you all like it. So before we really get started, I just wanted to thank everybody so much for all the kind words, the love and support I got on that last video for that clutch that we hatched here. The Pastel Highway 50% het pied bred to the yellow belly or gravel pied. Obviously, the 50% het pied aspect of that female really turned out to be 100% het pied, which was like through the roof, like phenomenal. That was just phenomenal. And yeah, clutch of the year for sure here, if not clutch of my life. So really awesome. It was so awesome reading everybody's comments. Everybody was super pumped for me, which like that makes me so much more pumped. You know, I love when people do incredible things. I love seeing everybody on here hit like the jackpot odds and stuff like that. So it was really cool to see that same feeling that I feel for everybody else kind of back to me. So thank you again for all the comments, the love and support. It was just like, that was silly. Like, so thank you so much. That was really cool. So anyways, let's just slide a snake open or slide a tub open and grab a snake, I guess. Okay, so here's a snake that I haven't shown off in quite some time. Every time I went to go show her off, she has been in shed. So it's kind of been, you know, timing. If only all of these snakes in here knew that when this camera comes out, it is time to shine, we would be in a much better place. But it seems like every time I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring that snake out, I'm gonna film that. Go in there, I slide that tub open, and boom, there we have it, they're in shed. And I don't want to show off a snake necessarily in shed, especially when I'm doing like, you know, I don't know, you get it. But yeah, here's this snake right here. This is one of the cooler snakes I feel like I picked up last year, I guess technically maybe this year still. I'm gonna call it last season. This was one of my acquisitions for the future. So this right here is a Pastel Lesser Spot Nose. Really like this combo quite a bit. Spot Nose just adds that zing to it that you really need. It really jumbles up the pattern and dilutes the edges, you know, down. Let's see if we can get a shot. Yeah, so down here we're seeing that pastel and spot nose really fight the lesser patterning. So the head pattern's really unique if I can get her to slow down for more than a couple seconds here. But it has like that teeth. It almost looks like the eye stripe has like teeth in the back of the eye stripe next to where I feel like the ear would be if snakes had a ear. But yeah, really cool. The complete dorsal stripe down the whole animal, which I think is really unique. And you get that a lot of times with like a lot of lesser combos and stuff like that added in. But the really cool thing about this snake is 100% het for puzzle. And so this is, along with my Hidden Gene Woma het puzzle, the start of my puzzle project. I picked up 2 females last year that are het for puzzle. And that's kind of, you know, usually how I like to start these projects is I like picking up some really cool multi-gene heterozygous animals, and I like to start with females, as most of you know, and I'm sure that's nothing new to anybody else. But the good thing with starting with females and then starting with hets is you can raise these females up, and by the time they're of age, the projects that you were interested in might have evolved further, and you'll be able to find some probably very cutting edge males to put with these big, soon to be big, let's say, het females. And that's what we're doing here, you know. The idea in my head right now is we gotta have it, right? We gotta get that GHI. So we gotta get that GHI, we gotta breed the GHI to this lesser, and we gotta make some lesser GHI puzzles. On top of that, we'll have some pastel mixed into that, and we'll have the spot nose mixed into that. But you know, by the time she's up to size, which I'm thinking will probably not be this season, you know, judging on how big she is now, it'll probably definitely be next season. There could be some pretty dang spectacular puzzle pieces to add to this puzzle board, I guess I'm gonna call it, just to keep the puns going. I don't know. So I'm really excited for her. She actually just stepped up to small rats, and That's a question I sometimes get too, is when do you step up your hatchlings or whatever it may be into different sized animals? And for me, I guess the it depends answer really comes up again. But I feel like I'm pretty confident with stepping the animals up to small rats and stuff like that when they're around that 500-600 gram mark. I can usually be pretty safe to say that they should be able to handle a small rat. It really does depend on the size of the animal though, like that center thickness. You don't want the rat to be too much bigger than the thickest part of the animal itself. And so generally speaking, I feel like that 500 gram mark is right around the time where, you know, a small rat is like, that's perfect. So that's what she's at. She just took her first small rat Saturday night. So that was 3 days ago since I've been filming this, and couldn't be happier. She's looking strong, healthy, and not, you know, overweight or too chunky or anything like that. So pretty excited for her. She's one of my strongest feeders, so that's another thing. Who knows where we can take this female. She might just push right past that 1,000 gram wall and keep on rolling. So that would be pretty dang cool. But yeah, here she is. Slide out another door and see what we can do. Okay. And in continuing this random video here of just kind of some snake nonsense, Pebbles was in there cruising around her home, really looking like she wanted to come out and play. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna hang out with Pebbles. I know I recently just kind of filmed something with Pebbles, but I don't know, can you ever really get enough of Pebbles and how awesome these reticulated pythons are? She has gotten so big. Even I feel like since the last video I had filmed with her, she has shed once since then, so that's pretty crazy actually. And I really feel like she's at that point where I might need to consider stepping up her prey item. I think she might be ready for some maybe young rabbits. I don't really know. This is my first go with these larger constrictors. So as far as like the prey items go, I don't know like what is what, or like when is the acceptable time to like step up to that next size. But I honestly feel like right now she's on jumbo rats, and after she eats one of those rats, I just feel like it doesn't even look like she ate. So I don't know, it's something I think I'm really considering maybe stepping up and seeing if we can't get a different size prey item in her. And the other thing I kind of really want to do is I want to start maybe varying the diet of these reticulated pythons, like maybe incorporating a few quail or, you know, just something like that to maybe change it up, spice it up a little bit. I think that maybe there's a little bit to that, but on the other side of that, it's just kind of like a cool thing and a change up for me to be able to feed these animals some different prey items. You know, in the wild, she certainly wouldn't just be eating rats. So that's something that I've really been thinking about doing. And as you can see, I'm pretty tied up right now. I can't really do a lot of movement. Yeah, she is just a sweetheart, and I'm having just a really good time hanging out with her right now. So that's why I decided to just show her off a little bit here in this this video. Alright, so we got another girl here, and this here is Hope, and if you haven't heard her story, she had a bit of a rough ride on her way here, but this is an Orange Dream Cinnamon Vanilla Bongo. This is a really unique combo. So this snake here I picked up from Ozzy over at Ozzy Boyd's. And the opportunity here to have this animal, I feel like I don't understand how Ozzy lets go some of the snakes he lets go. Like, this snake is ridiculous. This was the only one, I believe, in existence, which is already crazy that Ozzy's at that point where he can let animals as strong as this go. And yeah, I cannot wait. Like, look at this patterning down the side of that, just completely like blown out, washed out, crazy looking, like has the trackers down the back. This looks like a different type of highway to me, like the highway or gravel complex, the highway or freeway complex. Like, This snake reminds me of that. And what's insane here is that yellow belly or gravel isn't in the animal. And so she's right at 900 grams, so it's pretty impressive how much weight she's really packed on here. She's one of those snakes too that just never, ever misses a meal. She'll eat in shed, she'll eat obviously out of shed. She loves food. She is an opportunistic feeder. She will always eat no matter what. And so I love ball pythons when they're like that. It's so like, when I can get a ball python like that in my group here, I don't think I'll ever let them go. That's the thing. It's insane when you can get a ball python that just like eats like a freaking retic or a boa. It's ridiculous. So super pumped to have her. If she keeps feeding this way, there's a decent chance she might be in the lineup this year actually, which would be like, that would be silly because this was a snake I wasn't really planning on having in the lineup at all this coming season. So to have her added potentially into this year's running, I don't even know what I would put her to be honest, that male-wise that I even have here. It's kind of crazy, actually. I haven't really put a lot of thought about it until this pretty much exact moment. So right off the bat, I feel like Bubbles, the Coral Glow Pied, Pos Het, or 100% Het Clown would be a really cool animal to put to her, because then we could get some Coral Glow Bongo, Cinnamon Vanilla, Orange Dream, 100% Het Pieds rolling out there, Pos Het Clowns, which like is never a bad deal. The other thing is I have some really cool males that might make this season. So there's a possibility of that. Like if I can get my Fire Yellow Belly Clown to get into the running, it would be pretty cool to get maybe some Fire Vanilla combos out of this right here. Additionally, I have the Leopard Yellow Belly Pinstripe Pied. That would be another really cool male to put to her. I don't know, the list goes on because this is just such an amazing snake. Like I don't know how to make this better, I guess is my problem. Like what would you put to this snake to improve her? Like how do you improve this animal? It's I need to be more creative. I need to be more creative about this because this is a really impressive animal and there's a lot going on with her right now, and I don't know how to make this combo even better. So to me, a lot of times Pinstripe is kind of a cool thing to throw into something like this because it will clean up the sides, which is kind of odd. You wouldn't think Pinstripe, being, you know, what it is, makes the side patterns kind of cleaned up, but it seems to in a lot of animals. So maybe Pinstripe isn't a bad idea. I don't know. What do you think? I guess give me some ideas. Give me some ideas on what you would put to this snake. So anyways, let's put her up. All right, so time to wrap up this video, right? It's kind of drug on a little bit and it was fairly random. There was really no direction to this other than just talking about some snakes. But if you're here at this channel, that's what we like to do here. We like to just talk about snakes, and that's what we do. And so without further ado, if you are still here listening to me ramble on about essentially nothing, you are a rock star. And if you would, jump on down there, hit that like button for me, because it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, and that's what this is really all about, all of my self-indulgences. But anyway, thank you so much. I hope you're having a great morning, evening, night, whenever you may be watching this, and until next time, we will see you all later.